Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our live show, which is going to be our Purple Passions live news break. I am Mr. Purple Passion, Mr. Clark. Welcome to our live show today. Thank you, Queens, for being here and for coming in to check out our live show. I know I'm fashionably late. I'm late a little bit, but it's okay. You know, we are, everything happens for a reason. We're here, right here for a reason where we're at, right? So, no sweat. We're here now to discuss with our community the things that have happened this week, the things that we're doing good, and the things that we could be doing better, and also any complaints that we have that's been circulating within, around, and without Purple Passions Boutique, okay? So, thank you for joining our live show today. So, if you are here, give me the thumbs up like normal, right? Give me your name, or your name's going to show up. Tell me where you're coming in from, whether it be Ohio, whether it be New York, whether it be California, Washington, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho. I don't know. Just let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know you're with me. Let me know that you're alive and well. Give me the thumbs up. Say hello. Say good morning. Say good afternoon if it's the afternoon where you're at. And let me know that you're doing okay. Again, this is Mr. Clark with Purple Passions Boutique, here to give you your news break live so we can talk about the things that's happening within our community and the things that will be coming up happening in our community too as well, okay? So, thank you for those of you that have stopped in, that are stepping in. I appreciate you guys 1,000%. Like I always tell you guys, there is no us without you, and we cannot do it without you, okay? So, if you are here, you're alive and well, then I want you to share this live out on your personal page at least one time. Tag about 10 people, sellers, friends, and bring them on into this live show, especially if you're a part of our community. If you like Purple Passions Boutique, like and invite, follow the page, okay? Follow the page. Follow us, okay? We want you to follow. We want you guys to be involved, okay? So, welcome to the news break, okay? Welcome to the news break today. And Queens, do we have some things to talk about today? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys have been checking out all the posts I've been putting up with these different questions. If you notice it's starting out with a question, I'm not generating this content out for no reason. This content is coming up because people are sending my inbox questions about what about this? What about this? What about that? What are late fees? What are surcharges? What about shipping? And I'm getting all these messages. So I say, okay, instead of me directing it directly towards anybody, I bring it to the whole entire community. It eventually turns into a policy. And I say, this is how we're running on Purple Passions Boutique. So that way everybody is squared away. Everybody is good to go. Nobody's going to be suffering from any one of these type of conditions. Okay. So that's what my inbox is for. It's for good things, bad things, questions. So a lot of that stuff that you see then I am actually putting on those pages, those are coming from situations, those are coming from people, those are getting sent to me directly to my direct message, and they're saying, hey, Mr. Clark, can you do something on this? What's the answer on this? And then I do my best to put that information together, to find the right answer, the correct answer, and bring it to you in a format that's kind of in a training, but also in a that's constructive for everybody that's in that category, you know, whether it be client, shopper, or seller, you know, or platform or business. So that's why you see a lot of that content. So I ask you guys to please read, because the best, there's the old saying, the best way to hide something from somebody is to put it in a book. And what does that mean? That means that we don't read. We don't take the time to read. We scroll, we scan, we don't read. But then when the problem arises, I'm the one like, hey, about 3 weeks ago, I posted this content. I'm going to send you back the content because I covered this so that you can understand what's happening on Purple Passions Boutique, okay? So I'm saying that because I want everybody to read that content that's on the page, okay? Because it's beneficial for everybody, all right? So if you're here with me today, I see Miss Trisha in here. I see Sabrina Clark. Who's that? Oh, that's my wife. She's here. So, hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
So, she's with us today. If anybody else is with us, please say hello. Say good morning. So, good morning to all you queens. Good afternoon, all you queens. Let me know what is going on here today. What else we got? Oh my goodness, let me change my mouse. I can't even see anything up here. I'm looking for comments and I can't see. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Yes, honey. Yes. Yes. Good day, good day, good day to you too, Miss Knight. Good day, good day, good day. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Where's my ad? Where's our admins and all the people that support? Where's our support at? Miss Reyes, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Miss Sheila, I hope I say it right. Fed, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, Queens, for saying hello,
Queens.
for talking. Thank you very much. I need that conversation. I need you guys to talk to me. You know, when we here, we talking, we conversating, okay? So don't be shy, don't be ashamed. I only bite on Wednesdays and Fridays. I don't bite the rest of the days, okay? So feel free to talk, comment. Miss D Lo, hello, Purple Patches family. How you doing? So, you know, I'm only biting on Wednesdays and Fridays. Always remember that. Wednesdays and Fridays for Mr. Clark, okay? On hump day and at the end of the week, right? Because I'm turned up on them days. I know the week is getting ready to be the weekend soon. And when it's right before the weekend, I got to bite you to get you away from me so I can have my weekend, right? So, the rest of the days, I'm not biting. So, come in and say hello. This is family. This is what we do as a community. Hello, Miss Trisha. You know, come in and talk. That's what we're here to do. We're a community. Community talks, we vibe. We speak about things. That's what we're doing. Okay? Yes, honey. Yes, this is the news break. All right. My wife said, let's get it started. Okay. All right. So, Queens. Okay? So, this week has been a dramatic week. Okay? I tell you that. All right? It's been dramatic. It's been a lot of things happening. Okay? So I do not have our sellers of the week, and I apologize for that. That will come on the news break when I post it, okay? So it will be there. So look for it to be posted there. I haven't added up all those numbers and brought everything together because I got to categorize between the marathon, between the regular, and then the night, okay? And I wasn't able to bring in that third party, so I didn't want to bring you half of the information and not the full information, so I elected not to do it at all, okay? But what I will say is everybody that participated in that marathon, thank you so much. That Halloween marathon. Thank you so much. You guys are truly a blessing. You guys truly did great. Thank you so much for being there for that support. That is kind of, you know, those marathons are very, very essential and very, very important for not just our platform, but also for your businesses as well, okay? Because it brings a cohesion of support, meaning that you're taking your time to say, I'm acknowledging this day specifically, you know, and when you're actually, I'm looking at my son over there, but when you're acknowledging that day extensively, you know, through cohesion, that means that out of all the times that you're going, you're electing this special time to support here, and you're getting that support back. So that's more of a unified kind of a front because you're bringing in, you know, basically instead of you're bringing in one gun, you're bringing in all the guns. Just focus on one point, and it's Halloween, and we're gonna get this done. Okay, so when you guys are doing that, I want to say that is super fantastic, and that shows a lot of cohesion. Plus, it brings a lot of momentum. It changes your algorithm. And I always talk about algorithm. Your algorithm can kind of be split, and that's one of the points I wanted to make, can be split in numerous ways, okay? When you're on a platform, you got the platform algorithm, you got your business algorithm, and you've got the Facebook algorithm. And based on how many views you're getting, how many people you're bringing in, Facebook is going to elect to say, okay, I'm going to shoot your algorithm in different areas that you can't reach just to try to give you a boost, you know, internally, based on what your algorithm is, based on what you're doing. So when you come in on those marathon days, it's kind of important because you're going to get boosts in different areas where you might go. And you're going to turn around and look and say, okay, I have more viewers, or you're going to have new faces, you're going to have new people, and you're going to have a lot of different things, okay? What happened? What I need to do? This way?
Put a little bit more up.
A little bit more up? What, about right there?
I'm delayed. I don't know. But keep on going.
Okay, I think I'm good right there, right?
Okay.
So, what we got? Who did I miss? Good morning, Miss Alicia. Good morning, Miss Kels Noel. Okay, good morning. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, so that's important when you guys come in with your come in with the algorithm. Now, if you can match that with when you come in and you say you need to boost the algorithm like Miss D-Lo does, or you come in with the promotion that you got Miss Tanya Alicia doing in front. If you can come in and match that promotion, that type of sharing and time when you come and say, hey guys, we need to boost volume, help me do this. When you come in with that energy and you're jumping in on those marathons, you're gonna have a great sale. You're gonna boost all your numbers yourself internally, okay? So that's why I'm putting out these things that are so important, because we think that are not important. We think comments are not important. We think engagement is not important, but your success is actually based on those things. Okay, so don't take them lightly. Let's make sure that we're paying attention to that. So those of you who showed up for that marathon, that is very important. Okay.
Now we still have some queens on. Still don't tag.
Hold on. I got them. Now, with that said, right, we're also talking about sharing and tagging and boosting that algorithm. Now, I got some queens that are veteran queens that are jumping on and they are not tagging. Now, for me, that's unacceptable, because you are a veteran. You are a veteran seller. So, at a minimum, you need to be tagging 10 yourself. You need to tag. You have to tag. You need to share and tag. Okay. If you don't, and then you don't have that many people, your sales drop, you're upset, it's a reason why. It's always a reason. You can always find that reason. So make sure that even if you got to make out points for yourself, make sure that you're tagging, make sure you're sharing, okay? And if everybody's doing that for you, then you need to do the same thing back for yourself, okay? So please tag, okay? Nobody's here to swipe your people. I'm not here for that. But I don't know your sellers. Your sellers don't know me. I mean, yourself, I don't know your clients or your shoppers. They don't know me, okay? So we got totally different clientele. So you need to tag your people, because I don't know who your people are. I can tag mine all day long. And most of the time what happens is people are watching to see, because they haven't shopped with you, to see what you're doing, how you're doing. They're making a decision whether they want to shop. What's going to convince them is going to be your people when they're making those good comments, promoting you and talking about you and talking about their experiences with you. That's why comment is important too, okay? That engagement is important. And that's going to bring in those other people that may want to shop with you, okay? But you got it, everything works together, okay? One hand shakes the other hand, okay? Good afternoon, Miss Coleman. What you got, babe? What you got?
I still have sellers in my inbox asking me if I know this person, if I know that person, if I can, reach out to this person. But honestly, to tell you the truth, a lot of these shoppers that are coming in your inbox and shopping with you, they don't even like and follow Purple Passions Boutique, right? They are not basically our shoppers. So half of the time, because I sometimes have this feeling that you guys think that I don't want to reach out. I can reach out, but I have the same success what you would have, because they're not with me. They don't know me. They don't shop with me. You have to understand that when you go live, that these people can come on from any and anywhere. So you have the whole internet world open, and when somebody decides that that person want to shop with you, that is probably not necessarily one of my shoppers either, so we don't know.
All right. Thank you, Miss Kels. Thank you. You said I love your platform. I like what y'all do. Thank you very much. Miss Kaplan, thank you for being here. Hides in the car. So the caveat off of what my wife just said, okay? So when I started this, I've always said that when you guys have any type of issue, I want you guys to mediate that yourself. And in the event that you're not getting further with the process, then you contact me, and I help you go the rest of the way, the rest of the distance. Why did I did that? And I kind of covered that the last live. And I said that because it teaches you how to engage with your clients. Okay. What I get a lot is everybody's like, I don't want to engage with this person because this person makes me upset and I don't like this and I don't like that. Okay. Well, in life, you're going to be dealing with all kinds of people you don't like. So is that going to be your excuse all the time to say, hey, I don't like dealing with somebody because you're upset? If you're upset and you don't like them, that means that you're uncomfortable in that situation. And it's the same uncomfortability that I'm going to have when I step in that situation, but yet you're asking me to do it. And because I support you and I love you all, I step into that situation in front of that firing squad or that person who more than likely is going to give me the same result that you're afraid of. That's the only reason why you don't want to do it, because you're afraid of the confrontation. You're afraid if it goes wrong, you have fear. Okay. And, I always say that, fear stands for false education appearing real. Okay. That means that it's a false sense of fear that's not even really real. And that's why we're afraid to step in front of that. Okay. So I'm just as uncomfortable too, but I have to do it. Okay. So to be a professional, to be a business owner, you have to step in all types of situations that make you uncomfortable, because sometimes you have to be uncomfortable just to get comfortable. If you have a barber's right-handed, he's got to cut hair with his right hand. Okay. So when he's cutting hair with his right hand, he's got to move over to the left side. It's going to require him to use his left hand. If he's not ambidextrous and he cannot use that left hand, he's got to practice probably cutting his own hair to use his left hand. But how does he get better at it? By using it. And guess what? He's uncomfortable. But if he wants to be that premier, that supreme barber, he is cutting with that left hand until he masters it. So now he can go from left to right. He's going to bring in more customers, more people into a seat, because now he's not struggling with the haircut. He's able to take care of both of those situations. Okay. So so the point that I'm getting at is that I understand that lots of times you're having conversations. You don't want to have the conversation because you say, oh, I may say something wrong. I may be upset. And I've been in that situation with a person. And when they came back, they said, hey, I was just upset. And I said, I know. But that person came back when they were calmed down. And sometimes you may need to calm down. But don't let that stop you from stepping in front of something, because you have to be able to take care of yourself sometimes, because you are that business owner. I don't have a problem doing it, but I always say, make sure we're the last resort, because I want your voice to be heard too. They should know that if I'm speaking for you, you feel the same way on that end. And how do they know that? Unless you're telling them, hey, you need to pay your invoice, you need to ship your packages, X, Y, Z, right? And if you're not saying that in front and then contacting me, and I contact them and say, hey, this seller said you didn't ship your package. And so the first thing they say to me is like, you reported me? You reported me. She reported me? Oh, I can't. Why would she report me? She didn't even ask me anything, right? And I'm like, well, I'm going to send you the screenshots. I get the screenshots. I'm like, nowhere in there did the seller ask the person the question they asked me to ask the shopper. So now I'm in a situation where this person's mad at me. Now I've got to calm her down that this is not actually a report. This is about standards, policy, and what the rules are. And then, and the whole time they're electing not to pay. They're electing not to pay for one reason, because the seller didn't contact them first. Had that seller contacted the shopper first, it wouldn't even be a situation. And this is called people skills, ladies and gentlemen. This is what this is called, okay? So I'm only telling you guys, the facts of what I go through when I step into this process. And guess what? When I get that message, I'm like, oh man, I got to try this person down. And guess what? It's a 50-50 situation. It can either go bad or it can go well. Okay. Most of the time for me, it goes well, because I step in there with a positive attitude, and I'm talking directly, and I'm just saying, hey, such and such said that you didn't pay. Is there any reason why you can't pay? Or is there any reason that's holding you up from paying? So I'm asking them, hey, what's going on? Why can't you pay? I'm not saying you need to pay. If you don't pay, I'm going to do this. I'm not even doing any threat. I'm like, hey, you have an invoice with her. You know that, right? Yes. Okay. Is there any reason why you can't pay it? Well, I had this now. Okay. Did you reach out to her? Look up here. Okay. I'm going to say, so we got engagement. Engagement is important. Hello, Miss Kimberly. Yeah, respect, speak. I love y'all. Accountability. Yeah. So it's your business. You have to use your voice. Hey, how you doing, Miss Benson? And yes, those things are right, because at that moment, that shopper is like, hey, well, I had this come. I'm like, well, did you reach out to the seller? Then I didn't get an invoice. I seen invoices with the wrong emails on the voice. I've seen people block people because they put the wrong email, sent out an invoice, said they didn't respond. They didn't check the email. Now they're trying to say that person's a ghoster, they're a non-payer, a whole bunch of mess. And this is what I say, I teach my son this. I tell my son, most mistakes that are made in life, you make from not checking behind yourself. Okay. And I tell him everything requires thinking. Even using the bathroom requires thinking. Brushing your teeth, washing your face. All those things require thinking, okay? And checking behind yourself. And that's how you save a lot of situations. Yes, babe.
So, to caveat off this, what my husband just said, it happened this week. Ta-dum. No.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
It happened this week.
You guys see the eyes, right?
So, what happened was that we had a seller. And this seller had an email, right? And whatever happened to that email, I don't know. But whoever put that wrong in, whether it was the seller or the shopper, But the crazy thing is they know each other, okay? But I'm going to say no names. So they know each other. It was, and the seller sent to the shopper the invoice per email, knowing that that email that she's using, like we don't have no at gtail.com or at gsale.com. We don't have it. It's Gmail, right? Everybody knows Gmail. So whenever there is a typo in there, make sure when you send your invoice, you check your email. You check that email.
Right.
You compare again. You know,
And that's on both sides of the fence.
That's on both sides.
Yes.
So also you have the ability as a seller to go in that live pack and to tag that that shopper. If you don't get no response from that invoice, right, that you sent per email on that wrong email, for example. But also if you just send an invoice and you don't get no response, you are able to go back in that live, find that person, tag it in the live and say, hey, I sent you an invoice. You also are able to reach that person via Messenger and send the same invoice that you sent per email on that wrong email.
Well, you got so smooth. You
that Messenger.
You need to do my job. She got so smooth. She need to do my job now, right?
No, I'm just saying we have options. We have options.
Because she just taught me something just now. Like I said, I don't know everything, but she just taught me that you can go inside that live and tag that person. I know the part with the messenger and the other part, so now she told me that. So I'm like, hey, she might need to do my job because she just showed me something on here. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I do know one thing, right? That say names because I'm here for it today. No, we're not saying names, Miss Coleman. But always remember, like you said, taking care of your business, taking care of your business. All right?
Being professional.
Being professional. People person. So listen, what my wife is saying is that make sure your information is correct. Like I said last live break, okay? Make sure that your information is correct, okay? And now check this out. I'm gonna tell you guys something, okay? If you're using Square, right, the person's gonna register with you inside Loyal Shots. So I tell you some ways that you can check, okay? So and I always give you solutions, okay? So this person, you have to send an invoice to them. You send them an invoice through this email. Then they pay, right? So you're going to look and see if that address that they're paying from matching the address that you have on file, because sometimes it changes, sometimes it may not be there. Then you can run those addresses over into Loyal Shops to make sure they gave you the right information, to make sure all your information is lining up. In the event that you have any discrepancy, then you need to reach out, like my wife said, tag them inside that live, tag them in Messenger, and send them an email, okay? If that email comes back, like I've seen an email come back because I put it in incorrectly, then I've seen an email come back because that person gave me a wrong email. Now, as sellers, okay, you can look at emails and notice some emails is not actual emails, okay? Don't say that their person is Ulysses Clark at 56carddeck.com, and then you say, I sent it to them and they didn't pay. I mean, that's the email that they put in. Yeah, they may have put it in, but that's not a legitimate email. You know that.
And make sure you send the invoice instead of saving it.
Yeah, right. Make sure you send it. Thank you, Miss Alicia. Make sure you send the invoice. And then I'm sorry, Miss Benz. I saw that comment. You said I felt like it's not your job to do this. It is a seller's job. Yeah, but what happens is that when nobody's checking behind themselves, then I get the message in my inbox, and then once I go through everything, because it's two sides to every corner. If you're like me, I believe that it's three sides to a coin, right? You got the heads, you got the tails, and then you got that little ridge of a side that makes it roll. So it's three sides for me, okay? So I check all three of those sides, and I'm checking, I'm saying, okay, this is the information from the seller. This is the information from the shopper. Okay, this is the data I've collected. What is happening here? And then when I find out what's happening, then I put together and I say, okay, this needs to happen here. This needs to happen here. Okay. And I'm never mad at anybody, because if you can let somebody get underneath your skin and get a rise out of you, then you're just going to have a bad day. You're going to have more negative stuff follow you. I believe that. So don't let it bother you so much. Yes, my queen. What we got? So
we also have in this week another situation of that under the table sales from seller to seller. So, and what I want to add on to this is, if you make deals under the table and you don't want to pay your invoice to the other seller, and the other seller give you the option that you can pay in little payments for a whole month, one invoice or whatever it is, do not come in my inbox with this. Do not come in my inbox with this, because this is a situation that you created as a seller with another seller. You should be grown enough to know that you need to pay your invoice and move on and be an example as a seller. Do not come in my inbox and say, oh, I granted her 3 weeks to pay that and she only paid $10 and I'm sitting still on 70 and I need my money now. No, this is your problem and I would not get involved in this. But I know one thing, what I'm going to do as a rule is if you don't pay your invoice, and I get a report about this, you're not going live on Purple Passions Boutique until your invoice is paid. Because that is simple how I'm going to do this now. Because I'm tired of this. That is happening every week.
Okay. You mean we have to pay your invoices? Yes. so here's
yes. They have to pay their invoices.
So here's the thing, right? The first point I want to make is that sellers, if you are collecting money, and you guys seen the post I put with shipping on there. I think Miss Roman was the only one that commented on that saw that about shipping, what your shipping rates should be, about your late fees, all that stuff, what shipping should be, how fast you should ship, what is that window. And I think I know Miss Tanya Alicia actually has that window down based on the 72 mark, okay? And there are stipulations in there, but you need to read that material. I'm going to try to go back over every post that I've made and do a video tailored just for that post. So that way you can get a better understanding and I can kind of expand on that content, but that will be later on. But what I'm saying is this, right? If somebody, thank you, Ms. Brown. What I'm saying is this, if you have collected money, you've got that 24 to 48 based on what is a holiday weekend to send that package out. Okay. 72 max. So if you have not sent packages and you are a seller, you will not go live. I don't care what you book. And if my wife is contacting you, she's contacting you in the event that I cannot contact you. So attitudes, comments, and all that stuff, leave that in a shoebox and keep it where it needs to be, because nobody's calling you because they want to argue or get a smart remark or anything like that, or attitude. We're calling you to let you know that I'm speaking for Mr. Clark, and Mr. Clark is going to cancel your live and not send you any rights. And then you can be mad at Mr. Clark and send him a bad message. And then that's going to be a whole different situation and you will not be live. Send your packages out. That's just standard. If you collect money, send out the packages. It is wrong. It is absolutely 100% wrong if you collect the money and don't send out the packages. If you have a problem sending out packages, let me know. I had a seller, what was this, about 3 months ago? Back when we were a free platform, and they said, well, I didn't contact you because it's not like you were going to do anything about it. And I was like, whoa. Right? So, okay, it says, the information is so helpful. I appreciate it. And then look at you, Mr. Purple Passion, Miss Walker. How you doing, Miss Walker? Good to see you here, right? And then here you go. Miss Alicia says, I ship 24 hours of payment, sometimes the same day, unless it is the weekend. I agree. You take money, then you send out the gosh darn packages. You doggone right. You right on that. I'm going to say business owners, run your business as a business and not a hobby. The platform owners are not mom and dad. They're two amazing people. As a veteran seller, appreciate the platform you're selling on. I need to hit my mouse. Because it hit more than one. I know with these big fingers I got, I touch it, it's going to kill the whole live. So I don't even touch it. Platform you're selling on, but it's not like this. And thank you, Queens, for those comments. That's the truth, because what I'm trying to convey here is very simple. Okay, look. Everybody's uncomfortable to take that step and challenge somebody to do right. But you're challenging that person to do right. You're challenging them to a standard. You're challenging them to be accountable. You're challenging them to be responsible. Don't be afraid to do that if you're a business owner.
What I also saw is that happened actually a few weeks ago. I also saw that I was reaching out to a seller and say, hey, are you going to ship packages? And that seller said, oh, I already shipped packages. And I said, okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, and 4, proof of tracking, etc. Did you ship the packages out? So what I got as a tracking was you know how you put in pirate ship, the address and everything, and you don't even print that label. You just, take a screenshot of this. So that package never left. That package was, the label was never printed out. And I don't understand.
I know you do, Miss Alicia.
And I don't understand what's the purpose of this. So either you when you do things like this, right, as a seller, there's only for me two options. Either you never wanted to ship the package out, or 2, you just want to make some money real quick and then hop off the platform and leave, because everything is possible at that moment, right? So I'm trying to figure out, before you do something like this, think about this, because we, all the sellers and all the shoppers, we are not dumb. We are not dumb. That's what I'm trying to say, because we ship in packages every day, right? And when we ship packages every day, we know how it looks like. We know how the tracking number looks like. We know how the label is supposed to look. And we know that when the label is printed, then it means that it's actually bought, and then you have an actual tracking number.
Read off what Miss Benson just said, because I can't get all of it right there.
There really is no need for drama if the seller does all the things possible to connect with the buyer, and they are not responding, including a call out to contact the seller on the business page. Where am I at?
Even such as Susie Cabell Benson, please contact me via Messenger ASAP. If they ignore messages of all kinds, well, guess what? They are ghosting, and they need to go on the non-payer list. Unfortunately, it is part of a business that people are out there who are not responsible, courteous adults. You are not going to change them, so avoid the drama. It is what it is. Okay, so exactly, but I will, and part of it, I will say, you can put them on a ghost list if you want to, but that's not standard for your business. This week I will be posting content on what a business owner should be doing when somebody's not ghosting, dealing with the ghoster, a non-payer, and somebody that's avoiding content. All right, so
Miss Tanya, read that.
He said, and then John says, I promise I'm not going to talk the whole live, but that gives Brokiana vibes if you get the money and you aren't doing what you need to do. And guess what?
Brokiana, that's a nice one. Never heard of that one.
So here's the thing with that. What I tell people, right? What my wife was trying to say is that she had a situation we did about a week ago, I think about a week, where a person, we asked them for tracking number for sellers. I mean, for shoppers. Some of them were sellers, and then they gave them this tracking number that's like when you input the data in Pirate Ship and then say, hey, this is the tracking number. No, that's not the tracking number. Okay. And we've done this long enough to know that part. Okay. So that is wrong. And sometimes what people do is you take the money and you're like, okay, I'm going to re-up. I'm going to go spend here and spend there. And you do all this. And then you're like, okay, now I got to ship. No. And as I put out I had a training with somebody the other day. I told them, I said, when you finish with that live show, you need to be invoicing and pulling items immediately. That is the next two things that you do. Your next 24 hours are spent doing that. I have my own schema how I run mine, but that's what you need to be doing within the first 24 hours after that live event. If you go late, you got to wake up that next morning. That next morning and that day is spent invoicing and pulling items. Okay. If you got to, I say take a bag, write the name of that person whose items you're pulling on the bag with a black Sharpie, and then put the date. So you know what date you can revert back to. You put it in the bag, you sit it to the side, okay? And if they pay, if they're not paying within 72 hours, then you feel free to put it back on your rack, resell it. But do not do that without effective communication to the other side of your clientele or to whoever purchased that item via Messenger, via the live, via the email, okay? So
if you have any problems, and I say if you have any problems after your live, how to read out the bot, or how to see what the bot collected on items, reach out. Please reach out. Reach out. Do not act like that you know what you're doing, and then we see the same dress, and trust me, shoppers know what they bought because they have in paper, they have a pen in their hand, and they're writing down exactly what they're buying. Do not come and sell the same dress 6 times.
Yeah, because our queens on here pay attention. I don't know if you noticed. You see, look, I've got a lot of my day, like Miss Susie. Miss Susie's been with me for, probably from the beginning before we became a platform, right? So, she's in here. You got Miss Kimberly McClam. There's a lot of these people that were with us back when we were on True North way back then, right? So you got a lot of these queens in there, and a lot of them on the outside watching. And I know they've been with us from day one. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is that I have a question. Should sellers be allowed to go live if they're backing with shipping? Ms. Goldman, I just covered that like probably 10 minutes ago. I don't know where you was at. I just put that out. I'll cover that again for you. Give me a second. So I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, so like I said, they've been with us from day one, okay? So they are writing down what they're getting. They know what they're getting. They're screenshotting. So there's no way for you to, when they send you a message, and I'm not talking about my people, I'm just talking about the queens in general. There's no way that you can, they're veteran shoppers, okay? Not just veteran sellers, you got veteran shoppers. They're writing down the information, which is protocol put out by our people, that you need to shop responsibly, write down all of your information, okay? Numbers, screenshots, all that stuff, so you know what you collected, okay? So you're not shocked by any invoice that you get, and you know what you have. So, Toya was in Toya land, LOL. So,
no, Toya just want to make sure that they
Toya just wants to make sure that I cover it again. Because that's on the chest. I know it's on your chest, Miss Coleman. Calm down. It's gonna be all right. You just spicy today for no reason, okay? Stop being Tabasco, okay?
Go to the regular hot sauce.
Go to the regular hot sauce, okay? Calmate, que te calmo, okay? So she knows that means from Jadakiss. But what I'm saying is that I lost my train of thought again, dealing with her, Miss Tanya, Alicia, Miss Toya got all over the place. What was I saying? I was saying that, okay, they're writing down everything. So there's no way that you can kind of get out of that situation of what you're selling. So why do I tell you that? When I first started, I had a couple situations where I didn't pull something, or I thought I pulled it, and I wasn't matching things up when I first started, and my wife was showing things. And then my wife and she was going through and she pulled them like, and I remember like, oh man, that belongs to such and such. That belongs to such and such. And she pulled like 3 items like that. Do you know what my wife told me after that live show when that happened? Do you know what she told me? My wife, she pulled me, she said, hey, that's embarrassing when that's happening, okay? I need you to get on your job, okay? I need you to be pulling these items and checking and making sure you're pulling everything correctly, okay? Because I'm not running my business like this, all right? All right? That's how she did me. I was like, yes, ma'am. I felt I was dealing with my mother, right? Like, yes, ma'am, okay. I'm going to make sure it's good and everything. So now my wife is like, did you pull everything? Are you sure? And I'm getting up and I'm going to check behind myself, right? And it can happen. But you know why it normally happens? Because we're not pulling right away. We're saying, okay, I'm going to wait a couple of days, or you're going to take the money and then go over here and invoice. No, you need to be doing that within 24 hours and get it. And yes, if a person is not shipping again, if you're not shipping packages and you are a seller, you're not going live on a page. And I told you, you'll personally have to deal with me on that, because I will cancel your live myself. You know, I'm the one cutting lives, clearing lives. I'm the one doing all that stuff. If you're dealing with somebody else in front of me, that only means that I've got another priority that I have to, a mandate I have to make. And I'm trying to make that timeline, and they're stepping in and asking that question for me, okay?
Also, what came across my table was this. I cannot pay for shipping right now because I sold everything for $250 or for $350 or whatever. So sellers, if you're new and you don't know, please don't forget. And I'm gonna tell you something on this note. You have to pay, and including in your sales, your shipping. Okay. So if you sell everything for $250 and you say, oh, I'm gonna sell this for $250 just to make some sales, you still have to pay pirate ship, right? I know that. I know you're charging shipping too. But if you say, okay, I'm gonna be so cheap that I'm gonna only charge $4.50 for shipping, and everybody know shipping prices went up. Do not be my inbox and telling me that you cannot ship items because of that.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me back up on these comments. Hold on. I'm missing something. Okay, hold on. When I shop, I screenshot my items and claim, and I keep a PowerPoint. Wow. Open always, and the item and the price, so you know what you are expecting with the invoice and delivery. Okay. Now look, that's some woo. She done went to Microsoft on you, okay? So listen. Listen. Benson went to Microsoft on you, right? You're not getting out of that PowerPoint. Oh man. They watch it. They go, glad she laughing. Man, busy. You know what? You probably the hardest on Purple Patties Boutique. And then Ms. Coleman says, I'm good. I'm not just spicy. I just want us to be faithful, honest, and trustful shoppers, and so us unite within the Purple Patties Boutique. Yes, honey. And then Yep, I got a purple police too. You guys don't know that, right? I got people that are buying things to see how shipping it. I got a lot of people moving around, right? Because we need to see what's going on now. Back to what my wife is saying. PowerPoint. Oh my god. So, but whatever you got to do, whatever's clever, right? It's in buyers just know when you have the cheap sales, sometimes shipping will be more than your item purchase, i.e., $6 and 2 items, depending on weight and distance. Is it going to be? And thank you for saying that, because that's what I was getting ready to try to cover too. So in these next posts, I'm going to be covering late fees. I'm going to be covering surcharges. I'm going to be covering shipping prices, timelines, and all this stuff within that whole ecosystem of that department of thrifting and shopping. Okay. And I think it's important for you guys to know that what your charge is late fees, when you should be charging late fees, when what that surcharge is doing on your end, what that surcharge is doing on the other end, why Afterpay is there, what is it actually doing, what is being convenienced when you're seeing these 30 cents, 6%, when you're getting a 5% late fee, when you're getting a $5 10 point. So
Daniel, you just said, wait, Purple Police, why wasn't I hired? I'm the resident Leo, dang
it. Yeah, Chase is the case. Yes, I do. That I got people in lives and they're watching and say, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? And they're bringing that information back because I need that information to make our platform better. Not to come and say, hey, you're doing this and kick you off the platform. I don't want people kicked off the platform. I want people to follow the policy. Okay, because I'm taking a lot of time to build that policy. Policy protects everybody. Okay, policy protects just as much as you being responsible. Okay, so it's important that you guys understand that. But I'm going to be covering all these different points so you guys understand exactly what is going on. Because what has happened, and this is what I told my team, I said what has happened is that people probably got into this as a hustle, and they said, okay, I got my 9 to 5. I'm just going to make my little money. I got to do this to have a business. Okay, this is how they're doing. I'm going to do it the same way. And they didn't check whether it was wrong or right. They didn't check if this is standard, if this is how you should be doing this. On this platform, one seller had me to send her a picture of the items. After sending her the pictures of the items, and she said she had the items, and she still didn't send me an invoice. Instead, she told me to
go and like your page.
Go and like her page and watch her live the following night. I never did get an invoice for the pictures I sent her. That was on Purple Passions?
You need to be in my inbox after the live.
Oh, Mr. you supposed to be in my inbox right now. You supposed to be in my DM.
Yeah.
We don't let stuff like that happen. That's wrong.
Yeah, and and this is what I'm talking about.
And these are situations.
That's why we having these talks.
This is why we had the Purple Passions news break. This is why, okay? Because of these situations. This is why we have it. Because lots of times people they don't want the confrontation, they don't want to have that conflict, and they don't want to have any problems or any blowback, so they're like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. No, you should say something, because do you guys know how hard times are right now? You're looking at a government shutdown. You're looking at people that actually need government assistance that's getting taken away. And guess what? Rent has went up, mortgages went up, all the groceries have went up. Look, you can't even get a pack of chicken wings for under $20 anymore. Okay? Yeah. So everything has went up. So your dollar needs to matter. So I don't care if you spend it here, right? I do like chicken wings a lot, right? So you see, I didn't mention anything else but the chicken wings, right? But I was mad. I had a conversation with the soccer the other day. I said, man, what's going on? Why? What's going on? Where are you getting this from? They act like they got the chickens in the back. I said, if you need some help, I can help you pack it. 26? That's ridiculous, right? So what I'm saying is, listen. We've got to show better in order to do better. Okay. So, yes, babe.
So my point is respect. Okay. Respect the platform. And I'm going to put this out right here. If you're wanting to book sales lives basically on Purple Passions Boutique, that either you reach out first to me for the unlimited, right? Pay for the unlimited, and then you get the link sent. That is the regular way. Do not hack my page.
Oh, yes, you got the commissary. Oh, the commissary yeah. Love.
Do not hack. Do not try to hack Purple Passions page. Book yourself some lives and try to get out of this. Do not do that to me. Please not.
Right.
We had this happen too. So I'm just saying, do not do that. Okay?
Right. So everybody know, and it's standard protocol. I've actually put it out. I've actually got it. So if anybody knows, I'm building a resource portal page, and it's going to have all our policies, all these booths and posts that I'm putting out. It's going to have all that on there, so you can reference back to find out what the policy is, what you should and shouldn't be doing as a shopper and seller. But one of our policies is that before booking, you pay first, and that's always kind of been the policy. That has always been the policy. Before you book, you pay first, and then you get the book. Okay, you'll contact my wife. You'll pay. We'll get what Miss Coleman to send the link to him. Right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So and she will send that link, and then you'll be able to book and do everything you need to do when it comes to Unlimited and when it comes to the midnight. Okay. Everything else is already centralized where you can go through Stripe and pay. If you don't have a Stripe account and you don't like doing that, then you are able to Cash App, but you will do that before you go through that process. Okay. Because some people don't like going through Stripe and like dealing with it. That's fine. We have other ways for payment methods, but please do not go book and then come back and then you say, well, I was going to pay or this, that, and the third, because that is wrong. Okay. It's wrong. And no matter what you were thinking, it's wrong because it went against our policy. Okay. Policy is written, policy is put out. And I tell people not reading it is not an excuse for not knowing it. Okay. I take you back to the military format.
It is incredibly wrong. And I was incredibly shocked too. So, I was sitting there completely shocked because I couldn't believe, because the seller is a seasoned seller, right? And I couldn't believe that it happened.
Love it. Do me a favor. Go to my printer, and on the top of the printer, just reach your hand up there and give me those papers off the top of it for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My son is going to be like 8'2", so I already got him reaching for everything. You talk to him like this.
8'2".
You know, I remember my mom was like 5'2" right, and I got taller, and she's like, it doesn't mean anything how tall you are. I'll break you down. And that at that moment, I think I shrunk to that big, right? I shrunk to that big. Thank you, son. I shrunk that big, with my mother. Okay. So with the Unlimited, I'd like to request a link later. Common sense, you pay before you book. Yes, no problem. It's okay to gain new shoppers, and everyone does not need to be your friend to shop with you as sellers. Please respect the community, or you will be banned by the purple police.
It's okay to gain new shoppers, and everyone does not need to be your friend to shop with your sellers. Please respect the community, or you will be banned by the purple police.
well, and that's the thing with that too. One of those things on the agenda is that stop sending friend requests to everybody. Stop going into people's lives and seeing everybody they tag. Then you go and take those same people and send them friend requests, because now they're coming back to my DM like, why are you sending people to friend me? And I'm like, I didn't send anybody to do that. And I have no control over that, but it's wrong. And you as a seller should know better than that. So don't do it. That's just, I don't even need to explain that anymore. What we got, I'm new and I have a problem with the seller on a discount. I paid her August 1st, never got my packet. She sent the PayPal invoice, paid through my bank account card, and I'm battling with her to pay. She's done a lot. Okay, what's the rest of the rest? I got to change this up.
Customers like this. She's done a lot of customers like this.
Where's on there?
Hold on 1 second.
I'm trying to, let me fix my comments. The reason why you see me doing that, Queens, is to let you guys know is because when it has that more button, most of the time I hit the more button, sometimes I hit the finish button, and I don't want to kill the live, so I'm using my screen and the back behind it, and sometimes it'll black out, so I have to wiggle the mouse in order to get it back up, okay, when it sits dormant like that. Okay, so she's done a lot of customers like this. So Miss Moore, I need you to send me that information to my DM so we can try to square that away. I don't like anybody having issues on our platform.
On Purple Passions
Purple Passion. I think I might know the seller she's talking about just from the timeline she just gave. But I'm not gonna. I want to see the information first. I'm one of the people that I'm talking with everybody involved until I make a decision and find out what's going on. I'm not jumping to either side. I don't play sides. That's not for me. I don't straddle fences. It's not for me. Okay, I walk one way through life, and that's right. My military career was that way, and people know that. Even if everybody said this was right and I knew it was wrong, I still didn't do it. So that's just how it is, okay?
Is terrible.
But it shouldn't be that way. I tell everybody to treat everybody right, okay? I understand, and like I said, it's all about I think a lot of people took on this, not understanding that you are a business owner and you're still credible within a business format, okay? It's not just a hustle, okay? I'm giving you things that you're probably going to be upset about and say, this isn't wrong, I've seen this wrong. But I'm going to give you why it's wrong, but I'm also going to give you why it can hurt your business and how you can implement what you're trying to do into your business to do and bring that point that you're trying to do. Okay. So I'm telling you things wrong. You're like, well, how's it wrong? People trying, what about this? I'm like, okay, I tell you why. And when you think about it in that format, you're going to know and understand, because it's not all like you don't correct without giving a solution. You don't correct without showing the right way, because you can walk through life so many times doing everything that you think is right the wrong way. And then you get kind of drastically blasted when you feel it's the wrong way to what you do. Okay. So if you guys have issues, that's what my DM is for. If you want me to do this in confidence, I do it in confidence, But trust me, I'm always here to protect everybody, and I'm there for the right things. Okay, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to do things that we shouldn't do. But like I said, always know there's a difference between a mistake and a wrong. Okay, a mistake is that I accidentally give somebody a $5 instead of one at the register, like I told you guys last week. A wrong is when I know that that person's not looking, or that person may be blind and he can't feel what I'm giving him. And I say, I'm going to give him 50 cents and tell him that's his change. And the price went up. I'm going to keep all this extra money to the side and put it in my pocket. That's a wrong. Okay. It's not a mistake. That's the wrong, so, and we've got to know that too. So when we're selling, as sellers, we've got to be adamant on what we're doing, okay? And as a shopper, we need to be doing the same thing, okay? I was on our live, a lady said, do you have a package? And then I was on the live, a lady said, do you have my package? Right. And see, and you know what? That's another thing too. Sellers, you got to keep track of those items that you sell. When you're selling items, I give you a routine. Push those items. If you have another rack, or you can put them at the back of a rack, those things that you're showing, push them to the end of the rack. And then if you need to go back and show them, you're just going in that same order, but push them to the back. So that way, you know where you quit and where you stop. So that way you can pull those items at the end. Okay. Don't just filter them in. Sometimes we have our numbers in there, and those can get confusing too, because if they're not buying all those items and you got them mixed in, then you got to search through and find them. Co-locate them somewhere where you can pull those items and make it easier for yourself. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's what I love with you and Miss Rena. You're on the side of right, regardless if it's the seller or the buyer. It has to be that way. In this line of work, you can't take sides. So they should be ashamed of themselves when they get and don't provide tracking and shopper receipt merchandise. Yep, and make sure we're providing tracking numbers. That is, look, if a shopper reaches out for a tracking number, and you're stating that you shipped or you have it, you either tell them that you didn't ship or you provide a tracking number. Don't give a false tracking number from Pirate Ship that you screenshot and say this is, no. Give them the actual tracking number that they can type in, and it's going to tell them, well, that package is standing still, whether it's been checked in here at this facility before it goes to the main hub, before it goes to Chicago. Where's the other one?
I don't know. Where?
New Orleans, I think, is one of the main ones.
Yeah.
Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
But what I want to just add on to it, period, is you as a seller, right? And I always say there's two types of sellers. One that does it for a hobby, just to make some money on the side a little bit, and there is sellers that take the business for serious. So if you are a seller who want to be, and I don't understand nobody who does it only for a hobby, because even for a hobby, you want to be successful, you want to gain customers, you want to make some money, because we all do this for what? For the money, right? We all do this for some type of status, for money, for whatever, for being successful. You want to represent your business from the best side. Because when you as a seller you should look up to those who are bigger than you, who are more successful than you. You look up to those. You don't want to look up to those who are just starting, and you be like, oh man, I need to help that one. That's yes. But not to try to be like that one. But when you are a seasoned seller and you do this for I don't know how many years, and you mistreat your business, you mistreat your buyers and shoppers, but not sending out packages, right? But not sending out invoices or doing however you feel like it's convenient to you, and not by the business rules and standards, how it's supposed to be, then don't wonder when you start losing customers. Because customers and buyers, they talk too. They're talking with each other. And they tell you, hey, I wouldn't shop with this person because this seller did this and this to me. Look at Miss Deborah Moore. She's in here right now. And she said it happened to me with this and this seller. So she's upset. When you reach the level that somebody is upset with you and you are a seller, then you're losing customers. That's all I'm going to say to this. But that's on you, because only you can change it. You can only run your business, and you can only be the person who can make it successful. Nobody else. We are only the platform that you can jump on, and we help you to be successful. But the rest is on you.
Right. So, what we got? So let me
treat others how you want to be treated. Yes.
Let me screenshot Queen is in the house. Okay. That is true. Most of us work full time, and the majority take it seriously. Everyone wants more money. Bottom line is, run your business with integrity, period, or else you will not have that customer shopping with you again. A great reputation for yourself. Here are some very great sellers out there. Okay, right. It's a lot of sellers. It is a lot of sellers. How you doing, Miss Flowers? A lot of sellers out there. Okay, and I say it like this. I enjoy what we do. I'm one of the people that believe that if you don't enjoy what you're doing, and why you're doing it, you're gonna look at that time as wasted time one day. Enjoy what you do. My mother always taught me that. Enjoy what you do. So when I started doing what I enjoyed to do, then I started finding more love. I started finding more value. I started finding more depth into what I was doing. So take care of your people. Do things the right way. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I know right from wrong. I know that much. And I'm telling you, even when somebody says something, I'm like, that don't even sound right. That's wrong. Let me go verify that to see if that's legitimate. It could be legitimate, it couldn't be legitimate. But I know how I feel. We all have that intuition built in, what's right or wrong, okay? So these things that I'm telling you about shipping, if you're not shipping out packages, don't expect to go live. If you say that you ship, provide the right tracking number, okay? Do not pay before you book, okay? Pay before you book, okay? Communicate your issues with that seller. If you can't take care of it, reach out to me. Do not sit dormant and don't let me know things are going on. If you pay your money, you deserve to have your items. It has to work together that way, okay?
That's sad, Miss Deborah. That's very sad.
Yeah, that's sad. Well, we have lots of good sellers on our platform outside of that, Miss Moore. So you find one and you stick with them. And like I said, if you have problems anywhere, you come back and let us know. And
I believe this is what I wanted to know too. This is for the buyers or shoppers. Is that you have because I feel sometimes that way too. When I shop. So is that you don't want to shop with everybody just because of the fear you might not get your packages, or do you have just your favorite shoppers that you just like and you be like, I only want to be with this shopper? This is a good question to know too, right?
So my wife's question is, let me see if I say this right. Yes, we are sorry that happened. How you doing, Miss Jeffries? Miss Moore, I promise you, don't let that one situation be the reputation for the rest of the platform and the rest of the sellers, because I can verify for all 100% of all my sellers and the actions, because it's not even whether I've talked to them or not. I watch, I know, I get reports, I'm seeing for my own eyes, and I know. I can tell you if somebody says something about this person, I'd be like, that can't be true, because I know that seller. So something's not right there. Or they said, I'd be like, yeah, that's more than likely. That seller probably did do. I know that already. And then I start investigating, okay? So I want you, don't let that speak for the rest of the platform and the people that are here. All right? So there go Miss Evans. Miss Evans says, yes, it is a fear for me. I haven't chopped the one. Yes. So, we're sorry that happened to you, and I want you to reach out to me directly to my DM, or you can call today, and we'll try to square that up and see what we can do, okay?
Oh, my God.
Some of them need better presentation, presenting themselves, rolling things off a couch, or ripping out of an old box. And I put something out on presentation the other day, Miss Mills. I don't even know if anybody read it. I don't think anybody read it. I put that out of why presentation matters on your live show, okay? I put that out. So I put that out, why your background matters. I put that presentation out. I put out why your lighting matters. Like each one of these things that you're dealing with, I put in there. Why does commenting matter? I put all these things out. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, nobody's reading. I put out this information. So Miss Coco Evans with my wife said, let me get to this question real quick. She said that, is it that, let me make sure I'm saying this right. She's asking shoppers that, is it that you only shop with that one person because you like shopping with them, or you don't shop with others because you have a fear of not receiving your items? And since you know this seller, you feel comfortable, so you make your home there, and you're like, okay, I don't want to budge over here because over here I'm comfortable, and this could potentially happen over here, so I don't want to move in that direction. Is it any shoppers that feel that way? I got one that says yes. So let me know from your perspective on that question, because that is a very good question. You know, what does that look like going forward? What's the transparency on that? And then we got
Trisha said, also I have
an issue with tracking, showing incorrect information, leading to believe the parcel hasn't been shipped, slow on updating, and then receive items in the next day. See more. Okay, and that, right. So Ms. Coco Evans says yes. Anybody else comment yes, no, maybe so in the comments. Ms. Trisha, that, and you know what? That can happen. Lots of times that will happen is from lack of scanning.
From the post office.
From the post office, right? So I had a package one time that was showing that it was still sitting at home station here with me. And that package got delivered the next day to the person. So they never scanned it, and they pushed it with all the packages. That's really a post office person being lazy, being mad, because I probably gave them 50 packages that day. And then they took them and threw them all in a box. And they didn't make sure all of them were scanned, because my wife is also shipping with Etsy, TikTok, all these other platforms too. So those packages already come with an internal shipping label. So they may go out with Purple Passions Boutique, but they also have to catch their own scan. So I always give them a separate bag. But when I'm giving that mailman 50 pickup for 50 packages, they're mad. So they'll take those packages and they'll just throw them in there, and then they won't get scanned. And sometimes that's why packages get lost.
Yeah.
That's why your packages look like they've been opened. That's why they look like they've been kicked around. Because from home station, that person has gotten upset that I gave them all these packages on their route. They take them and throw them in there. They're not scanning. That's why they look that way. So what I always ask people to do is to check your email when they say that shipping. I like to put on my page, all packages have been shipped. So that way you can get that moment, go in and check for your tracking number. If you need that tracking number and you don't have it, then I can give it to you. And then you go in and check. And when you check, you can check play by play. And when it stops somewhere, and that's the last place that it stops, okay, then you can actually reach in there. And I got to figure out the way again. But it's a way you can contact that post office right there. Because I had to do it. I contacted a post office in Georgia with a person who the package went there. It went out. They didn't receive it. It said delivered, but they didn't receive it. So I ended up having to reimburse and then sending that package out again to that person. Okay. So there's a way that you can track. So let's start tracking our information too. That is actually the shopper responsibility. Once you pay and that item has been shipped and you know it's been shipped, track that item. Okay.
So
I got Sandra Mills. Yes. Surrounding me makes a difference. Yeah. Jonetta. Yes. Nevermore. Yes. I shot with someone like a couple weeks ago and I said I received my tracking, know my package, Miss Flowers. Okay.
Okay.
Send that to my.
So everybody who is in here right now, or who's gonna watch the replay of this news break, everyone who shopped on Purple Passions Boutique with one seller that is here, and that seller didn't provide tracking nor send packages out, etc., please be in my inbox after the live so I know what to do, because I'm here to track that seller down and to talk about that situation. So because we don't want this to happen. This is also bad for the platform.
So when you have those issues, you guys need to be in my inbox, okay? So after this live, show this news, I want you guys to send me that information, who the seller is, what the date was, what they sent you. Even send me that invoice to either my DM or my wife's DM, so I can look and see exactly what's going on. And Don and Alicia, me as a seller implores all open customers to get with me if they receive something that is less than described as the live. I also encourage all sellers and buyers to take pictures of what are packed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what, saying with that, if any of you ship with PayPal, and I don't know if Square does it, but PayPal actually has at the bottom of the invoice where you can upload photos of the items that you're sending to the person too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that inside of PayPal. I don't know if anybody knows that. So you can JPEG, TIFF, I think, or whatever it is, you can put an image of what you're sending to that person so they know. Me, I itemize my list so they know exactly what they're doing, and they even have the claim number attached with mine. So if anybody's got an invoice from Mr. Clark, you know that it's going to have a description of your item. It's going to have that claim number at the end. So that way, and I do that so you can verify, okay, this is what I claim. So if you're writing down, you should be able to go down your claim list, and it should essentially match with whatever I sent you on that invoice. And if you need anything further, then you guys know you can reach out and contact us. And like I said, even if I say that things are non-refundable, which they are, if I'm in the wrong, I'm still about making things right. So don't think that I'm not willing to make things right. I am. Okay? But you got to let me know why I've been wrong at. Yes, I've shopped with several people just last week. I purchased one of your seller for the first time. I've inquired about the shipping time, and to this day, nothing. I'm just happy I didn't spend a lot.
Spend over $30. Before I give you her name, I will reach out to her for tracking. I will give it another week. Okay, Miss Ninetta.
Okay.
And I know you, Miss Ninetta.
I know,
from me
yeah,
too, so.
I know you, Miss Ninetta. I know you. I know you. So, you know, on that note, you know, if that's what you want to do, fine. But if it doesn't work out, then reach out to me so I can go further with it. If you paid them, that is unacceptable over a week. Is ridiculous. And that's why I put out last night with the shipping. The shipping. I put that out what the shipping is supposed to be. And why did I put that out? Because of these issues. I knew these issues existed. I know it's there. So what do? I go to the community. I curate the information and say, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And this is Purple Passion Boutique policy. And like I said, not knowing and not reading is not a reason for not knowing. Okay, I take you back to my military days. When something happens, they say it doesn't matter. You got policy and procedure book over here. You better know your Army regulations. You better know them. Okay, that's what they're there for. They're there for you to read. I'm not here to brief you on them. You signed a contract like I did. It's here for you to read. You know, not reading them is not an excuse for not knowing them. Okay, they're posted. So because when they sting you in the military, they're gonna put that same regulation of what you violated, everyone to every point. You can be like, I've never heard that. And they'll be like, okay, well, it's there for you to read. It's there for the whole Army to read. So I've gotten stuff thrown away nothing like I described. Excuse me. Yeah, that's terrible. You know, Miss Mills, when you had those situations that's happening on our platform, you got to reach out. Sometimes I think you guys are like, it's not a big deal. I didn't spend a lot, but it's important. Okay, it's important. Those things shouldn't go, because if you don't address them, then it's like a infestation. It's like a bacteria. It happens here, then it starts happening more. It starts happening internally, and if you don't, before the next thing you know, the whole thing's infested. And we don't want that to happen. We want to kind of cut things clean and dry, make things happen the right way. Ignorance to the law does not make you less culpable. Period. So, you know, you guys have to reach out and address. Okay, I know everybody wants to give everybody a chance, but like I said, times is hard. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Times are hard. Okay, times are hard. $1 is hard to get right now. Okay, so if you're spending that $1, I wanted to make sure that you're competent and you're comfortable in spending that $1, and that you're getting exactly back what you're putting in. Okay, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to jump on somebody and make them mad and all that stuff. I'm here to say, hey, you got paid. You know.
Oh my God, you cracking me up. Purple Police intern.
Don't spray cologne, put spelling stuff in the box. Send them as agreed. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I covered that too. I covered that too a while ago with the spraying down the dryer sheets, pulling stuff off of couches, pulling stuff out of trash bags, throwing stuff on the floor, animal and pet hair on this. I covered all that too. I put a post out with all that stuff, information on there too. So I've covered the inspired items. I've covered so much content. You guys just don't understand. So I cover so much content. My wife thinks I'm not even doing the other things I need to do, because I'm always trying to cover so many issues, you know, and I'm really just trying to make it better and make sure that everybody's doing what they need to do.
Yes, especially dryer sheets. That's right.
Yeah, the dryer sheets, because people got allergies. Don't nobody want to smell all this craziness. So make sure that you guys are not spraying things down with different stuff. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Coco.
Thank you. So I wanted to start this off with it, and I forgot, right? Because I was late. The time frame had me messed up. Thank goodness for Miss Coleman. She had to put us in check and say, hey, you on the wrong time, right? So, but what I will do, Miss Mills, I will recirculate that information too. And like I said, my goal is, how you doing, Miss Glover? One of my goals is to take each one of those posts that I have and sit down and do a video on it. And I want to sit down and actually just cover that section, that content, and expand on it. What am I saying? What does this mean? And so that way you have a full video just on that content and each one that I have. And that will come on the Purple Passion resource portal page that I'm building right now. So what I want to read to you guys, okay? This is the Purple Golden Honor Creed, okay? So, giving my best voice, got a Ricola in my mouth because I got this cough and it just comes and goes and I don't know why, okay? But I'm not sick, okay? So I know you guys are talking about people coughing all over things and sending COVID in packages, okay? I promise you Mr. Clark's not doing that, okay? I promise you, okay? But some of you might know where this comes from, all right? But it says, no one is more professional than I. I am a reseller of the Purple Passion Boutique platform, a curator of treasures, a steward of value, and a guardian of trust. As a reseller, I honor the legacy of thrifting and consignment, a timeless tradition built on integrity, authenticity, and respect for both history and humanity. I am proud to represent Purple Passion Boutique and will at all times conduct myself to bring credit, class, and credibility upon this platform, my fellow resellers, and the community that I serve. I will not use my position to deceive, manipulate, or take advantage of others. Mm-hmm. Excellence is my standard. My two sacred responsibilities will always remain at the forefront of my purposes.
She's not only coughing, but digging in the nose.
Oh, God. Oh, God. The prosperity of my business and the well-being of my clients and shoppers. I will remain educated, innovative, and accountable. I understand my role as a professional reseller and will embody the highest degree of ethics in every transaction, communication, and representation of my brand. Every client deserves honesty, consistency, and care. I will provide nothing less. I will communicate with clarity, serve with patience, and never leave my clients or peers uninformed. I will be fair and just in all matters of pricing, refunds, and recognition. Loyalty, leadership, and integrity are my watchwords. Leaders and partners of this platform will have confidence in my commitment. They will never need to question my loyalty, my punctuality, or my professionalism. I will honor my time slots, meet my obligations, and uphold the boutique's reputation with pride. I will remain loyal to those with whom I serve, owners, peers, and supporters alike, and will act with humility and grace even under pressure. When guidance is absent, I will take initiative guided by conscience and wisdom, never by greed or ego. I would not compromise my integrity nor betray my moral compass for temporary gain. We are purple, we are passion. I will not forget, nor allow others to forget, that we are professionals, representatives of a movement that blends commerce with compassion, entrepreneurship with ethics, and profit with purpose. We are resellers of honor, entrepreneurs of integrity, and the backbone of the thrifting consignment community. We are Purple Passions. And
That's
that
right.
is the Purple Passions commitment and creed. And this is from all the weeks of our news breaks and everything that's happened from day when we opened our platform. This is rolled up into this creed. And I ask that everybody abide by it. Because if you pay attention to what it is, that is very, 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 very beautiful and important. If you want a copy, I'll send it to you. Mm-hmm. But that is something that I wanted to give to you guys, okay? That is our gold honor creed. And that's what we try to live by every day. That is what our standards are. Those things, as resellers, as a platform, and the people that come on there are to adhere to this, okay? Policy is everything. Okay? Now, do I have any questions for today on what happened, okay? Talk to me, Queens. Talk to me, Queens.
Any questions? Very well said. Would love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, my husband put a lot of work into Purple Passions Boutique to make it.
Yes, I will send you a copy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Don't worry, Miss Alicia. You know I got a signed copy. It's like a 4856 in the military. A counseling statement. You know it. I got several copies of everything. I got stuff that, you know, and I try to build policies so that when we talk about things, when we're doing things, it's understood. It's not about control, running somebody's business. I want every seller, when they come on my platform, to be able to sell, to feel good, leave feeling good, and just have a relief from their heart that when they come over here, they're at home and they feel good, okay? I don't want nobody distraught. I don't want nobody deterred, and I don't want my shoppers to feel that way either. I want my shoppers to be like, okay, I'm going up over pastures. They got their sellers on. I'm going in. I'm gonna feel good, and it's gonna be great. Okay, it's people that's not doing the right thing to make it hard for everybody else. And like I said, I don't care what's been done in the past. I don't care what this seller that's been selling for 15 years told you. I don't care. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Okay? Right. They may be doing it because they didn't know, because somebody told them the same thing. That's why we've got to dive in and find out what's right or wrong, and then do it right, build it around policy, and build it around what's right for our businesses, okay?
No, maybe have us, the sellers, to sign off on your creed, acknowledging your rules.
Don't worry, it's coming. It's kind of like when I did that post and I said, if you acknowledge this, then check acknowledge, okay? Because even when you guys say acknowledge on I don't know if people know that's actually a contract too, when you're saying, okay, I acknowledge this on there, because everything is virtual now. So can I write a book instead of each Facebook seller? You know what? I try to roll up my information. That's why I'm trying to put it all on one page and have it just as a separate entity that what we stand for. And I just believe that it probably should have been a lot of things that were checked, but a lot of things that happen with policy. And let me say this, so I don't want any seller to feel like I'm bashing them for what they've been doing. It's not that, because what I know is things change and times change. So what was happening when someone started off doing this type of process, and as more entities and more things got involved, and things change, and then therefore policy changes. So policy is one of those things that it doesn't stand for forever. You have to stay on top of it and see what's changing and what's happening. That's why I say demographics, the ecosystem, the retention, all these different things are important into this whole line of work. But this is a commerce, marketing, sales type of thing. And you guys are all business owners. I don't care if you got an EIN or if you're just using your name, if it's a sole proprietorship. You are a business owner, and you still have to run this like a regular business, just like any other business out there. You're just virtual. And then once you bring that together, you're going to be good. Like I said, there is a micro, meso, and macro to this business. There is a lot of things that you can dive into, So if you guys, like I said, if you guys want a copy, I send you guys a copy. But that is our creed.
I already have a few that want some.
That is our creed. That is what we live by. And when that came about, that came from all the information, everything that's going on, everything I've put together. I've probably got like another 2 months worth of information to put out that I haven't even put out yet. That's how far I've went into it. I'm always reading. I'm building a manual. I'm building a Bible for us to do the right things by. And one day somebody's gonna have it, and they're just gonna know everything to do, and they're just gonna be so successful. And that's what I want to see. Okay. So this is what's important. So
as we come into the end, I just want to say that we offer midnights, 3 hours straight, like 12 to 3 o'clock in the morning for $13.13. If somebody is interested in midnights, please reach out. You cannot book the midnights on the link, so you have to basically reach out to me, and then we can make a schedule and get you settled for the midnights. I have to say, I've never seen a platform owner go above and beyond like this. I truly appreciate it. I would like to opportunity to become a seller on this platform. Your integrity and dedication, where I am right now, are truly inspiring, and those same values are what I strive to uphold in everything I do. Thank you so much. I pray that your business continue to grow and reach the top. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And a lot of people, when we came out, they were waiting for us to fall off. They thought that everything we were saying was a bunch of fluff, that we weren't going to stand on principle. We weren't going to stand on business, that we weren't going to stand on things that we said. And they were waiting to see things go wrong and things shift and go wrong so they can make reports and do different things. They're waiting for that. But, even knowing that, I didn't focus on that. I focused on what I could bring for our business to you guys as our clients, because even the sellers and the shoppers are our clients. So we took a different approach. We started calling, instead of shoppers, we started calling them clients, because at the end of the day, whichever youth, they're still a client. Right. Okay. We start saying that seller is another business owner. So there's a level of respect that we got to treat them with too, if we're requiring that back. We understood that dedication and where and the social status and the status quo of what we're dealing with. So we started to understand business as a whole. So we just try to do the right thing at the end of the day. Okay. So I appreciate that. and not to work tomorrow, I would love to do the midnight. The midnights all available, okay?
Yeah,
now,
you can reach out to me and we can book midnights whenever you want to, or to Miss Latoya,
right.
Latoya Coleman, and our admin expert. Also, if you would be interested, or anybody would be interested in a unlimited, you can book unlimited, including the midnights. The midnights are included in that.
Right.
For $50 a month, and you can go every day live if you want to. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So let me hold that thought. Let me run it together real quick. Okay. So what we have unlimited booking, right? So that's unlimited anytime that you choose. That is $50 a month. Okay. Included in that unlimited is also the midnight lives. Now, separate from that, if you want to book a midnight, it's going to be $13.13 from 12 to 3, and it's going to be that's going to be the midnight, okay? It's going to be the midnight magic hour, only. And that's the midnight only, and that is $13.13, okay? And that's one show, 3 hours, all right? That is your window. Now, if you want to book unlimited, that means that you book unlimited for the day, and you can jump on your midnights, and you can run all that together because it's unlimited, okay? $50 a month. So I want you to take advantage, because right now, I can tell you, midnight has been popping, okay? Midnight has been popping. A lot of people, I noticed from when my wife was going on tears that time, that midnight was popping, okay? Midnight has been popping. It's just you got to take you a nap before you
before you go live.
You got to take your nap before you go live, right? And boom, and then you jump on there. Now, Miss Alicia, I don't know what she's doing, right? So, I don't know if you guys know they had this no limit cash money thing the other day, right? But she came in there with that, that no limit soda, that camouflage look. She did a promotion, which was beautiful promotion. I love that to the T. She did a live, jumped on, did a 4, then ran right into a midnight, right? So she's giving her promotion, and then she's running right through those lives like it's nothing, right? And I believe she's been very successful, and they have looked really, really good, very, very stellar. So I want to tell you that too, that you did a hell of a job, Miss Tanya Alicia, because you got up there on your own promotion. And what I'm saying is that, not to toot a horn, but if you guys watch Miss Tanya Alicia, if you are a seller, you can take some good tips and tricks from her, because if you watch her promotion for herself, her flyers, her engagement.
No, Miss Tanya, if you have the unlimited, right? If you have the unlimited, then the midnights are included in that. Then you don't have to pay extra for the midnights.
No. So what I'm saying is that you have your regulars, your unlimited for the hour and a half. When you book your midnights are still that 3 hours, okay? It's just that the midnight magic and the unlimited is merged together for you, since you have the unlimited package, okay?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
And I also would like to know from those who went on the midnight,
right,
if you gained any new customer outside of your regular hours that you do during the daytime. I would like to know that. If you can give me feedback on that. Right.
If you guys have went on the midnight, those of you went on the midnight, and I believe it's 3, right? I think that's Miss Knight, Miss Glover, and Miss Alicia, right?
Yeah.
So
and Latoya.
And Miss Coleman. Guys, give me that feedback and let me know what's happening there, what's going on. If you gain new customers, you have to tell them how many. Just say, yeah, I gained new customers. I had this many people on, because I saw Miss Alicia. She had a lot of traffic on there, like that algorithm was hot,
Miss Ebony too.
Yeah, Miss Ebony too. That algorithm was hot. Okay. So, and like I said, I know Midnights is popping, because when my wife was on it was live, okay? And that was like a year ago. So I know Midnights is there. It's just got to have that energy to jump in there and bring it, because California is up. That West Coast is up, and they popping over there, okay? So I'm telling you, that's something that you want to check out. You said, thank you, No Limit for the win. Oh, yeah, ain't nothing like No Limit,
So then we have our regular ones. For a regular live, 1 hour and a half is $7.77. So that is actually, I choose $7.77 because if you sell a sweater for $7 or for $8, it's basically the amount what you pay for a live, and I think it's fair. And I think that
we based the cost. What my wife is saying, she based the cost of that $70.77 for 1 hour and a half. If you just want to book a single time slot and try it out and see, we based that around if you sell one item, then that's the price you pay for the live show. So that's why it's $7.77. So you're selling a sweater or a shirt or a blouse, or a Michael Kors blouse for $70.77, then you get, or for $7 or $8, and that's the price that you actually pay for that live show. That's why it's $7.77. Okay.
Right.
That next time slot is going to be that $70.77 plus the booster.
There will be $15.
So it's
You get
$15.
A Purple Passion booster with it.
Right, and you get a Purple Passion booster with it. I put the information on there with the booster too. Why a booster is important, what it can do for your business. It's up to you to decide whether you want it or not, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're also still having people, if you want to sponsor your favorite seller, let us know. Because I think that's good, because if you love your seller, if you support your seller, then always do something to help them out too, okay? As much as they may give a free gift, or they do different things for you, or give a discount, or give free shipping or something like that, you give back, and that's how you gain too. In life, that's how things work. You give what you get, okay? You get what you give. So sharing is caring.
You give and you will receive.
You give and you receive, all right?
So, and then
hello, Miss Drain.
And then we have the oh yeah, and I also wanted to say, utilize the picture wardrobe. It's free, and as long as it's free, and as long as I write free Sunday picture wardrobe, as we already have out today, post your pictures, sell your items. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay 1 cent for it. Go in the picture wardrobe and drop your items in there. I usually do it by days. So Monday is going to be a different color picture wardrobe out there on the business page on Purple Passions Boutique. Okay, so you want to do that, and then
and hold that thought right there. So I'm going to carry on what my wife said. Now this picture wall drop, okay? I'm going to give you guys a little game right now, okay? In my training, I tell my sellers or sellers that are going to go live on our page when they go through that training. And we also refreshers too in training too. So if you don't know different things, or you want to know the information that I'm telling you, you get that in a training session. My training sessions are $50, and it's $50, but you're going to be there with me for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. But when you come out of there, you're going to be willing to take on any platform that's out there, any platform. I don't care where you go. You're going to be ready to take on any platform. Okay. Cause you're going to have the mentality and the knowledge. But with that said, picture wall drop. I tell you, queens, picture wall drop is actually, when it's free on our page, you should go enjoy it, because you're essentially going live without being live. You're doing the same thing you would do with going live, except you're not in front of the camera. Think about what I just said. You are doing the same thing that I am doing right now without being in front of the camera. You're getting on there, you're selling items, you're taking pictures, you're promoting your business, you're selling things. So you're doing a live on a picture wall drop is basically what you're doing. Okay, so think about that. Put that into your toolbox and say, okay, hey, I can't go live today. I haven't been live in a few days. I need to make some money, or I need to do this. Okay, let me jump on here and go live and put out these beautiful items I have, and go get your best items and drop them on there and see if you can't move them that way. Okay, until you come into your next live show, or you can't get the slot you want. You got to wait 4 or 5 days. Go live on that picture wall drop by dropping your pictures in there. Okay,
that's it.
That's it. So that's the importance of that picture wall drop too.
Oh yeah, on Veterans Day.
On Veterans Day?
I think Veterans Day is going to be the 11th of November.
Really?
Every seller who's going to book on Veterans Day a live, we're going to do a $5 sale.
Okay. Anybody that books on Veterans Day on that day, we're going to do a $5 sale. Okay, $5 sale
on Veterans Day,
and that more information will come out within this week. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Yu and Miss Sabrina, for setting the standard, going above and beyond. No problem. Like I said, we just try to do right. You know, it's nothing. We don't try to toot our own horn and say we're the best platform for this. We just try to do right. Okay. That is what everybody's call is in life, is to do right. And that's what we try to do. I promise you. That's all it is. I got nothing but love and respect for every other platform out there, every other business owner. I have nothing negative to say and have no type of vendetta against anybody. I want to see everybody successful, because I know it's enough out there for everybody. Okay, but we just want to do right. And when somebody mentions us, we want them to be able to say that, hey, they held them to a standard. They stood up and do right, and you can trust them. Okay, trust is the hardest thing to build, but the easiest thing to lose. Okay, and we never want that.
Yeah, and that's it for today.
So, that is all we have. Do I have any more questions or anything else that you guys want to tell me about? You guys dropped that information today, Queens. Ooh, you guys put me to work. Oh man. Well, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for allowing me to give you guys my time and talk to you guys. Thank you guys for talking back with me. I appreciate you guys 1000%. You know, I actually enjoy doing the news breaks. I look forward to doing them. So when you guys are in here talking like we did today, it makes me feel good. And it's just a blessing to be here to communicate with you guys. So thank you guys so much. You know, have a blessed day, everyone. Okay, right. And those of you, share this out with people so they can see it. Share it on your page. And I want you guys to have a blessed start to your week. Remember, we're coming into the holidays. Check on people. Make sure nobody's going through depression. Nobody's hurting, okay? Don't complain so much during the holiday times because all the gifts and all the love and respect that you won't get. Let's not complain. Let's shoulder it a little bit. Let's do the right thing. And let's always dress things up the right way, okay? Mwah. You guys have a blessed start to your week. I see you guys again soon. Until next time.
Until next time, ladies.
Says I have a slow connection. He doesn't want to let me out.